Hello friends, welcome to next tutorial in ChatGPT RPA series. In today's blog, we'll write code to read text from web pages and retrieve contact information like phone numbers, email ID, and URLs from web text. Below in video description, you'll find links to GitHub source code and YouTube playlists. So let's browse to our GitHub RPA repository. Now in this repository README file, if you're looking for other web scraping code, like how to read and write text from web pages, download a file, etc., you'll find links to a lot of different web scraping examples. In this video today, we'll write code to read contact information from web pages. Now we'll begin by installing a library called Beautiful Soup 4. And these are very high level tasks we are going to perform. So our goal is to read and restore dynamic content from web pages. So first we'll begin by writing a generic text which retrieve the text from the web pages. And then we are going to write generic functions to retrieve meaningful information like URL, emails, phone numbers from that given text. I also want to call out a disclaimer that this code does not always work as expected because some of the websites, they have JavaScript disabled. In those cases, it doesn't work fine. In this notebook below, you'll also find original ChatGPT generated code. If you query ChatGPT, that is write code to scrap web pages, it's going to write something like this. But we are going to take this code and customize this for our purpose. So let's start with spinning a new notebook here. First thing we are going to do, we are going to call our OS module here, import OS, and let's just read the content of the current working directory. So OS list directory, as you can see in our last tutorial, we downloaded a couple of PNG files. Those are the screenshots of the web pages. So let's clear the output. In this video today, in this tutorial today, we need a library called Beautiful Soup. So please go ahead and issue this command in your notebook, pip install Beautiful Soup 4. I'm not going to do this over again because I already have this installed. All right. So now next thing what we want to do, we need another library called request. This is a standard library, so you don't need a specific installation. And the reason we need request because we want to do an HTTP request to the URL. So and next thing we'll need the Beautiful Soup, of course. What we are going to do, we are going to make an HTTP request through request module here. So first let's define the URL of the web pages we want to scrap. So in this notebook, I have included a couple of different options and we are going to test this code for different URLs. So for example, I want to scrap my GitHub or Twitter or Wikipedia or just a UCLA contact URL, contact website we want to scrap. This is a good example because this is a static kind of a website of an educational institute and we want to retrieve the contact and email information. So let's do a get request to this particular URL. So that's the reason we include the request module here. So all we are going to do request.get and pass this URL. So whatever comes out, we are going to capture that inside our response variable here. Now let's use Beautiful Soup to parse this response. So all we are going to do, soup equals to Beautiful Soup, and we are going to pass the response. And this response variable is coming from the HTTP request. And I think if you read the signature of this, please take a minute to read the signature of this method Beautiful Soup here. All right. And I think we'll need to pass a HTML parser here. So response.content. So whatever content is coming from that HTTP request, we are going to capture the inside the soup variable here. And let's pass a parser here as well. So HTML.parser. All right. Because we know that this is coming, this is, whatever the we are coming from the response object, that is actually an HTML format. So let's pass that HTML parser here. All right. So for this, this code is going to do is going to, access that URL and whatever comes out is going to take the response and put that inside the soup. Now, next thing what we want to do, very simple, we want to call a function called get text. What this get text function does, it gets the text, it reads the text from the response. So once you see that in action, it will make more sense to you. Let's try to scrap our GitHub code. So as you can see, it takes few seconds. And next thing, let's go run the get text. So as you can see, it should generate a couple of outputs here. No, we need to print it. Sorry, it did access that, but we need to print it now. So print text. All right. So as you can see, it's too big to fit into this Jupyter notebook result here. So as you can see, it already created a brand new text file and it got all the content. And I can see that it has read most of the text what was available on that web page here. All right. So it did print out of the text. Next thing what we want to do, now we have retrieved all the text information from that web page. Now we want to get an email out of it. So now we are going to use another module, regular expression. And because regular expression, just like, I'm pretty sure you are familiar with that. If not, then I will make another video on this topic some other day. But what regular expression does, it allows you to find matching patterns of the given text. So for example, let's take an lorem ipsum like sample text here, and as you can see, email and phone number, they are always in some specific format. So what regular expression does, it allows you to search those specific text search string. So for example, we know that email IDs has to be in some specific format. They should include the character, say @ and dot or .com, something like it. So that's what regular expression does. So what all we are going to do, re.find all, and we are going to find that that particular email ID type text in sample text. Now let's run this. As you can see in this sample text, it is accurately this function, what is doing is able to retrieve that particular email ID. Now what we want to do now, as we can see, this works fine. So we are going to copy paste this, and we are going to run this function on our original text what we retrieved from that URL. So very simply, same thing, we are going to copy paste the same thing, but instead of sample text, we are going to pass our text variable here. Now let's go run this again. So as you can see, it is not able to find anything because I don't think there is anything out there. Let me comment this, and let's read the UCLA URL. I bet they have a lot of contact information out there. So let's run this again. Let's run the text variable one more time. Now clear all the outputs. Now let's run this again. So I'm pretty sure it will find a lot of email IDs from that website. I'm sorry, looks like I did some mistake here. Okay, contact. Okay, ucla.edu doesn't have anything. So let's access their ucla.edu /contact, and let's run our code again, run the text again. All right, now let's go run this. See, it has successfully retrieved all the email addresses from that particular web page. Now let's go similarly. It's very similar to email ID. You can just copy paste the same code, and instead of passing the email regular string, we are going to pass another regex, the regular expression, for which is a specific for phone number, because most of the phone number, they start with, like, they are 10 digits, and they can include the hyphen and +1 kind of a thing. See, and it is able to retrieve the phone number as well. Now let's go one more thing. Let's go retrieve the URLs. So same thing, but a different regex string. Let's print the URLs here. Run this. It is blank. It's not able to find anything. Let's run it for some other. It doesn't, like, you always don't get everything. For example, most of the time, if the search string does not exist, it's going to come back with the null. So let's go try the GitHub. Okay, so let's try to run the same code for this website. And because in this website, I know that there are a couple of URLs out there. So let's run this. As you can see, it successfully retrieved all the 2 URLs which are listed on that web page. So this is a very generic code. I hope you will be able to use this code for some other purpose. Please feel free to customize this. And if you have any questions, any issues, please feel free to open issue log, and I'll be happy to help you out. Thank you very much.